So today we are actually going to be doing a very short send-off of several cards that we will be sending to PSA. Let's go! What is up, Somm Squad? Welcome back to PokeSomm, the community for you and I to enjoy Pokemon together. Now today, as I have mentioned, we are going to be doing a very short send-off of several cards, as you can see right here, that we will be sending to PSA. And yes, I'm sure most of you already know that Beckett and PSA, they're both closed. Well, at least for new submissions under the lower service levels, but I'm actually running a middleman service for both PSA and Beckett for people back in Malaysia. Basically, the collectors back in Malaysia that aren't too familiar with the whole process of sending cards for grading and couldn't really take the time to sort of learn the process and everything. Don't worry, that's what I'm here for. And if any of you collectors back in Malaysia would need my assistance with sending cards to PSA and Beckett, I can do so for you guys, no worries. Yes, now the thing is, like I mentioned just now, most of you already know that PSA and Beckett are both closed for their lower service levels. But today's send-off is actually going to be 5 cards. Basically, it's only a very small submission of 5 cards, as you can see right here. And it consists of actually 3 of my own cards from my grading batch, as well as 2 cards from one of my customers that is currently using my middleman service, and he would like to actually grade 2 of his cards under the express level. So yes, so I'm gonna show all of you what cards I will be sending out this time around. It's been a while, but it does feel very, very nice indeed to be able to finally send cards for grading once again. So I'm actually quite excited because Express, with the current turnaround time, I think we should be able to expect it to come back within a month or so, plus minus. So yeah, hopefully it's within that range so I can get the cards back quicker. Now I'm gonna brief you guys through. The first 3 cards are actually gonna be my own. Now, as you can see right here, the first card is of course a Rainbow Rare Pikachu VMAX. Now I'm not sure if you guys actually saw my very first PSA submission video. I did send a Pikachu VMAX Rainbow Rare as well, and that came back a PSA 10. That was actually the first Rainbow Rare Pikachu that I pulled, and this one was the second one that I pulled quite recently, I would have to say, and it was from a very random tin. It was actually, I think, the Mew V-Forces tin. But yeah, anyways, first card, that is the Pikachu VMAX. Sorry about the reflection. Alright, and the next card is actually a Marnie. This is from the Shiny Star V set, the Japanese Shiny Star V high class booster box. Now, this Marnie is quite rare to pull, and currently the prices for this card is insane. I don't know why it's that high, but yeah, nevertheless, this is a very valuable card and a very sought after card. Now this card I actually got through trading with one fellow collector back in Malaysia. So I'm actually going to be sending this card in to grade as well. Next up, this is another card that I pulled by myself. I had a couple of boxes of Tag Team All-Stars GX. This is already an out of print set, to be honest. And this was in one of my booster boxes, surprisingly. I really love this card. I mean, the overall artwork is just beautiful. Erica is a beautiful character. And you can see the color. It's very vibrant for a card. Very noticeable, and it's just an insane card. Again, another very valuable card. So definitely I will be sending it under Express because it is worth doing so. So those are the 3 cards that I will be sending from my own batch right here, as you can see. Very beautiful cards. Can't wait to get them graded and have them back. Now for these two cards, ladies and gentlemen, huge hitters. This is actually two cards from my customers, one of my customers' own grading batch, I would have to say. And as you can see right here, the very first card, already a very huge hitter, the Shining Charizard. This is from Neo Destiny. Alright, so this is the unlimited version. Now I do actually inspect all of my customers' cards and do give them sort of an estimated grade. So once I have finished introducing all the cards that we'll be sending today, I will be giving a sort of estimate grade for each one of them, what I would expect them to get once they return. So we can actually do sort of a comparison video once they return on whether I am accurate on the estimation or not. If I'm not accurate, then God forbid, I don't think I should continue running my middleman service. But anyways, on to the second card, we have the Blaine's Charizard. Now this one is really huge because this is actually the first edition Blaine's Charizard. Yeah, so this is huge, very huge, and yeah, two very beautiful cards. Even though I'm not sort of a Charizard fan, but I do understand that Charizard has a really special place in a lot of collectors' hearts. Now anyways, now that I've introduced all 5 cards, we will be taking a look at what grades I've actually estimated for them. And the very first card, this is my own, the Rainbow Rare Pikachu VMAX. This is from Vivid Voltage, and I do estimate that this card will most likely come back a 10, a PSA 10, if not a 9. Due to the fact that I'm still a bit doubtful about this card. As you can see right there, there is actually a sort of, I would say, printing error, but it's not a stain or an ink stain whatsoever. It is actually missing texture on the card. Now, I'm not sure about most of you out there, but those of you who have Rainbow Rare Pikachu VMAXs, you will understand what I mean, because the card is actually textured and this particular spot right here is missing the texture. So I'm not sure if this would actually affect the grade, but overall this is a very clean card, and if it doesn't affect the grade, it will most likely give this card a 10. Alright, as you can see, beautiful. No whitening whatsoever. Moving on, we've got the Marnie from Shining Star V. I'm actually estimating that this card will most likely get a 10, due to the fact that I do not detect any flaws other than one particular very light print line that is running across the card right here. But it's almost not noticeable at all because I almost missed it, even with inspecting it with a magnifying glass. So no kidding at all, it's really, really light. But anyways, I do expect this card to most likely come back a 10. Next up, the Erica. All I can say is this particular card is very, very clean. Very clean. And if it does not come back at 10, I really won't believe it. I will honestly dispute PSA. But yeah, this is my estimation. I would estimate this to come back a PSA 10. Next up, this is the very first card for my customer, the Shining Charizard. Now, I've inspected this card right here, and unfortunately, overall, I would say the front is very clean. We don't have much issues with silvering on the edges or, scratches, nothing. But towards the back, I've actually inspected, and on the Pokeball right here at this very spot, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. No, actually you can't. But anyways, on this spot right here, there is actually a very, very small dent. Now, I'm not sure about how familiar you guys are with PSA, but when it comes to dents, PSA is actually quite strict on that. So whenever there's a dent on the card, you can pretty much be 100%, well, I would say close to 100% certain that your card would most likely be an automatic PSA 6 or below. Yeah, PSA is that strict on dents. So surface is definitely the most important aspect you guys would want to look into when submitting with PSA. Alright, so my particular estimate for this card, I would say, is a 6. It will most likely come back a 6, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And the last one. Now this one is in a much better condition. This first edition Blaine's Charizard. Now for this Blaine's Charizard, what I found is there is a couple of print lines and scratches on the holo foil right here. Not sure if you guys can see. Let's see if we can actually... the camera can't pick up the scratches and print lines, but they are here. They're practically right here and right here. Okay. Other than that, I would say the front is quite clean. And towards the back, you can see a tad bit of whitening on the top left corner right there. And yeah, other than that, I would say it's quite fair. I would say it's quite clean in condition. So for my estimate for this final card, the Blaine's Charizard, I would say that this card might most likely come back a PSA 8, if not a 7. But I'm leaning more towards a PSA 8. But we'll see, because honestly, I've noticed that PSA is actually quite strict as well with WotC era cards, or WOTC, which stands for Wizards of the Coast. Now, they're actually quite strict on WotC cards. And in terms of conditioning, a little bit of a nick or a scratch or a print line, it will duck off points from your grade. Okay, so that is those are my estimates for these 5 cards. They will be heading out via FedEx to PSA tomorrow. Yeah, so well, actually in a couple of hours. So yeah, hopefully we will see them soon. And once they're back, I'm gonna make a return video and let's do a sort of a comparison on the grades. The estimates as well as the actual grades. Alright, so yeah, that is basically the very small submission that we will be submitting under Express at PSA, and hopefully we will get them back as soon as possible. Alright, so that is all for today's return video. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This is PokeSomm.